Hello guys, my name is Dr. Varun and you are watching Chlorophyll classes only on YouTube. Today we're going to be studying about a 11th class new chapter. Till now we have completed the unit 1 of our 11th class. We're going to be starting with the unit 2 of 11th class, and the chapter that we're going to be starting is from the botany, that is morphology in flowering plants. Before to just dive into it, I want to tell you that we're going to be completing it into two parts. And we have divided it as first as the vegetative features and second is the reproductive features. Okay, means morphology. So morphology is what? Morphology means that logy means study. Till now we know that logy word wherever coming it means study. Morpho means what? Morpho simply means that the external features. So we are doing what? External feature studies over here. Okay, so this is what external feature of the flowering plants. What are flowering plants? Only one division is there which flowers, and that is angiosperm. So we are talking about the angiosperm. These are also called as true flowers because before that we haven't seen the flowers as the feature. Moreover, they have what? True ovules and ovaries present, which will develop into what? Seed and fruit respectively, we know so far. Now the question is that why we are studying about angiosperm so much? Okay, because they are the most dominant species currently on this planet Earth, and we can extract the benefits of it. If we know about them, we know about their characteristic, we might be able to find certain benefits. This is why we are studying it, because a lot of these plants are used for the medicinal purpose, and anything related to medicine is our part for the medical studies, right? Let's see that how the plants are classified. We have studied in chapter number 2 biological classification that initially the plant were classified on the basis of what kind of habit they have, whether they are smaller in size, medium in size, or the bigger in size. So these are one: herbs, shrubs, which are also called as bushes, and the trees. Now the herbs are what? They are non-woody stem, whereas they both have what? Woody stem. Now they are soft plants. Okay, stem are very soft green in color, whereas here it is branching starts in the shrubs. If you have seen that, for example, let's take the example. Here you have the example of, let's take a wheat plant. Everyone might have seen the wheat plant. Okay, so wheat is here, or tulsi plant. It is herb. Okay, then we have what? Shrubs and bushes. Shrubs and bushes like China rose. You might have seen hibiscus, right? Hibiscus is what? A shrub plant. And tree, a long tree like mango tree, okay, banyan tree, peepal tree, these trees. So those points, if you have seen that, those only has been written. Now what does that mean? That these herbs could be annual, biennial, or perennial. Annual means that they grow, have a 1 year of lifespan. Means one season they will grow, after that they will die. Annual. Then biennial means they have 2 years of lifespan, means 2 seasons, same seasons they will go on and then they will die. Perennial means they are present for a longer period of time, like humans are perennial, imagine it like that. Okay, if we are plants. Okay, then shrubs and bushes are what? They are mostly perennial only. So you know that China rose is available for so much of time, right? And trees are of course the perennial ones. This is one way of dividing it. Another way of dividing these plants are what? On the basis of branching. What kind of branching present? Number one is if the branch is not present, we call it caudex type of thing, where like date palm. So here what happened? From the single stem, multiple leaves are coming up. So no branches are there and leaves appear like a crown on it. Okay, imagine that something is coming from this only. So means it's a hat, cap, crown kind of thing. Excurrent. Excurrent means what? This is seen in case of pinus or the Christmas tree, we used to say. So in Christmas tree, we might have seen that the lower level, these branchings are there, right? So longer, broader branch is there and a smaller branch here. So means it gives a cone kind of arrangement. So this is what? That kind of. So means they branching is in the acropetal manner. What is acropetal manner? Acropetal means that apex has young part and base has older part, means older leaves, bigger leaves. The base will be older means longer in height, short, like taller in thing, okay, broader in things, right? You know that as we get old, we get increased our height, right? After a certain period of time. Okay, then the last one is what? Decurrent. In decurrent, there is a no clear pattern of branching. Any branch will grow from any manner, like your mango tree or any other tree. Okay, so these are the three bases of the branching. Moving on to the next, another way is on the basis of nutrition. Now they could be autotrophic or they could be heterotrophic. Now you will be saying that, sir, but the plants are always autotrophs. Yes, in the presence of certain things. Okay, so what we're going to be remembering over here, that autotrophic means self food making, they have photosynthesis capability, they have the chloroplast present, or they could be heterotrophs means dependent on some way, not completely or partially also. Let's see how. Okay, so in this we have parasitic plants, we have saprophytic, symbiotic and insectivorous. Parasitic means which are dependent on the other organisms. Who these can be possibly? So possibly we have what? We have certain plants which feed on the living tissue. So it could be partial or total. Total means for food and water, both the things they are dependent. Partial means either for the food or for the water they are dependent. So we have like on the stem, certain plants lives on the stem of other plant. So what is that? Total stem parasite like Cuscuta or Archeothobium. Archeothobium is the smallest angiosperm also, which is parasitic. Okay, partial stem parasite is Viscum lotharium. You don't have to remember these names, just remember that these are the categories. Okay, then root, the total root like Rafflesia, Benoflora, Stringa. These Rafflesia is what? Rafflesia is the biggest flower. It don't have its own roots. It is present on the stem of the other plant or the root of the other plant and get the water from it, food from it. Okay, and partial root parasite like these, your other examples are given to you. Now saprophytic means they are depending on dead decaying organisms like your Monotropa, Neotheca. Now Monotropa is called as Indian pipe plant also. This Neotheta is being called as the bird nest parasite. Okay, then symbiotic means in relationship with certain organisms like lichens. You know that lichens form association with what? Algae. Okay, these are what? Fungal and algae association. Then we have mycorrhiza where the gymnosperm's roots are making association with fungi, right? Then we have acacia. Acacia makes a association with ant. Now what it happens? Acacia provides the shelter to the ant, whereas ant releases certain chemicals as a pheromones which protects this acacia from the pathogens. Okay, so this is how they are mutually benefited. Now the next thing is the insectivorous plants. You might have studied that in the lower classes, that insectivorous plants are there, like your picture plants, Venus flytrap, right? These plants do what? They grow in the soil which are nitrogen deficient. If certain soil is nitrogen deficient, what will happen? They need nitrogen. Nitrogen is very important constituent. We need it in our body for various functions. As we will learn it further in biomolecules, we will learn it how important nitrogen is. So how we can get the nitrogen? They take it from the insects, because insects have what? Protein, highest source of protein present in their body. And those proteins, they broke down and inside that nitrogen is present. How, when, where? We will study biomolecules and we will learn it, this fact crystal clear. Okay, now the next thing is these are certain examples given to it. That's it. Here I have said what? Utricularia, which is bladder what? Here what happened? Closed door mechanism is there. So they look something like this. Imagine like this. So what happened? Anything can go inside. Okay, but it closed the door. As the doors are closed, what happened? Nothing can go out. So what will happen? Digestive enzyme will be released and they will engulf the insects which has gone inside the structure. Okay, so this is what the name has been given to you. Now we're going to be studying about the vegetative character in this chapter. What are the vegetative morphology? We have roots, stems and leaves. First of all, if we see from the seed point of view, seed grows two-way, means something will come towards the like sun, or means towards the aerial area, sorry, and something will go down, dig down into the soil. The thing that will dig down into the soil, that part forms what? Roots. How the roots are coming from? So inside it there are two structures present. One is called as plumule, other is called as radicle. So the roots are made up of radicle. How we will remember it? R for radicle, R for roots. The roots are what? Roots are formed by the radicle of the embryo. We will see the embryo, don't worry, in the later stages. Okay, so over there we will see that morphology also. So this is what? That roots are forms by the radicle of the embryo. It will form what? First the taproot. Taproot means what? A tap kind of like a conical structure that is coming up. From there the other secondary roots or tertiary roots or primary roots comes out. So this tap root is what? A primary root. So imagine this is the main root. From this the other roots are coming up. These are known as what? These are known as secondary roots. And from the secondary root further the rooting can come, and that is known as tertiary roots. Okay, so means roots are simple. So, like imagine that this is one tap root. So this is what my primary root. From this more roots are coming up. Imagine that these hands are roots. Further roots coming from the main body. So these are what? These are my secondary roots. And then from here also something is coming out. Roots part is coming out. We call it tertiary roots. I hope this thing is understood and clear to you. Now we have types of roots. So what are the types of roots? We have tap root, fibrous root, and adventitious root. Tap root, very simple, conical like structure. From there the lateral roots will be coming up. Lateral roots means side roots from the main primary roots. Now these are seen in case of dicots. It's not like monocots don't show. Few shows that, but mostly shows by the dicots. Okay, then next is the fibrous root. Fibers means lot of thread kind of thing. Fibers are present. So sometimes you might have seen in your academic exams, the teacher might have threads. Threads are what? It's like present in the form of a tuft, right? A big bunch of threads are there. That kind of roots are there. These are what? Fibrous roots. Now ideally from the radicle, there's a one tap root that comes. Here I told you na, radicle will make a tap root. This also happened with the fibrous root. A tap root will form, but later on it get thread fine, divided into fine thread like things and forms a this thing. So from the stem part only, these fibrous roots are coming up, seen in case of monocots. And the third one is adventitious roots. These roots which are not arising from the radical part, but other parts, normally stem or other thing, and they are there to help further in the process of anchorage, support, or anything to the plant. Okay, sometimes the plant is very heavy, it needs certain support. So who will give it? Adventitious root. Example, your banyan tree, everyone has seen that extra roots are coming up. So those are what? Adventitious root only. Understood this thing? Let's just see more about it. That is what parts and the zones of the roots. So if you see that this is the root, now you will like, how, what is this, which part it is? So what I did, imagine that this is the root and I cut like this. So means I did what? I did a cut over here, a longitudinal cut I have done. So after doing a longitudinal cut, you will see what? You will see the pencil look something like this. Earlier it is what? Circular in appearance. I cut it from, like means from this part, I cut from the center. After cutting it, I am seeing like this, the cut part. So this is that cut part. So if you see, lot of things will be there for your understanding, since these are what? Different structures, if you will see. Okay, these structures will come up later on, but here I will give you just a brief of it. Now think about it. Like if you cut my body, you will see certain layers. The first layer is what? My skin. If you remove the skin, you will find what? You will find bloods. Okay, so blood vessel is there, blood is there. Okay, after that blood, muscles will be there. After muscles, there would be fat would be there, and then muscles would be there. Okay, muscles would be there. After muscles, finally there would be what? Bone will be there. Organs or the bones will be there over here. Same over here also, certain layers would be there. So outermost layer is called as epidermis. So this layer is what? Epidermis layer. Inside it, maximum portion is what? Cortex. The innermost part of cortex, this thing if you are seeing, this is what? This is your endodermis, which is the part of cortex only. Then we have this green color thing. Green color is what? Food containing thing, means phloem. And in the center we have what? Xylem present. Understood? This is how the morphology is there. Now let's see that what are the parts or the zones of roots. So it has total 3 zones. Number 1 is the meristematic zone. Then we have elongation zone and the maturation zone. See over here beta, this part is known as the zone of meristematic activity. Meristematic, M for meristematic, M for multiply. Here what happens, the cells are present in their multiplication phase. Means they have just one role to divide and increase its number so that it can grow this thing. So it grows this way, it grows this way. Add both the weight cells. Now it has 2 different types of cells. One cell is upper, one cell is lower. This cell is in contact with the water and food. Where water and food would be there, what will happen? There the activity will be more. Now think yourself that they are dividing, means they are working. Work required energy. So where the higher energy would be present, more division will be there. So there will be active cell division area which is closer to the phloem because food energy is being provided. Whereas this area, there will be the cells which are less active, passive cell division would be there because they are far away from the food. So food required time. So they are what? These cells are on the pittiness of the above cell. I remember it like that. Now over here the cells of mesmetic zone is what? Small in size, cytoplasm is very thick, nucleus is very big, they are rapidly dividing. Okay, so these things are there. Cell wall is not well defined, so you have to remember these facts which will come again later on. Moving on, this area if you see, it is covered on this side by a root cap. What it is, you know that this will grow. As this will grow into the soil is a harsh condition. Think about these baby cells. Okay, so these baby cells will be destroyed. The plant don't want it to get destroyed, so it will do what? It will make a protective covering around this area, and that is known as what? Root cap. So cap is being given to the root, and when the cap is being given to the root, what will happen? This cap will protect this area. Now this cap is what? It has in protection the wear and tear during the penetration of the soil. It has what? More number of Golgi bodies which secrete muci cap. Golgi bodies are what? These are the cell organelle. We will learn about it and you will understand it much better over there. Then comes what? After this area is there, right? This area if you are seeing, this is known as what? Zone of elongation. So we said that it's proximal. Proximal means present closely. Okay, so proximal means near to this zone of maturation, zone of meristematic. There is what? This area called as elongation zone. Now here the cells are bigger in size, vacuoles are placed, cell wall thickening is there. Okay, and they lost the capacity of division. They takes a permanent function. Okay, so here this mesmetic zone is cell are capable of cell division. Division takes place. Here what? Differentiation occur. What is differentiation? It is a property by which they lose the capacity of dividing and take a proper function. Okay, now the zone of maturation. Here what happened, beta? This area means it is mature, cells are bigger in size and they have a permanent functions and characteristics. So here what happened? From the endodermis, there is a arisement of root hairs. Sorry, not from the endodermis. I made it wrong. Okay, endodermis will give a secondary growth. We will learn it later. Okay, this is little wrong. So what gonna happen? Let me just make it better. That this layer, the epidermis. Okay, this epidermis will This epidermis will grow the layers, hairs, that is called as each cell of epidermis. Few cells of epidermis, they make a outgrowth into a hair thread like structure, and that is known as root hair. It helps in what? Water absorption, mineral absorption. So means it increases the chances of the absorption. This is a 3 layer. So what are the 3 layers? Meristematic zone, we have elongation zone, and proximal to the elongation because the structure is present over here. So proximal to the elongation zone, there is a zone of maturation. 3 zones are there. Their structures would be asked to you and their features would be asked to you, which we have tried to wrote it up. Now the next thing is modification of roots. Now in your new NCERT, this feature is not, or this topic is taken out, but in your syllabus this topic is present, so we're gonna be doing it. So modification of roots means that how the roots are being modified in certain plants. We have 3 different variety of roots. What are they? Taproot, fibrous root, and the adventitious root. Now taproot and adventitious root has been changed in different organisms, so means they are modified. Okay, the way people modify their car, modified their PC for gaming and all those, roots also modify themselves for different functions. Okay, and fibrous roots. So you have to remember that there is no modification seen in case of fibrous root plants. Most of them is taproot and the adventitious root modifications. So taproot, they could be modified into storage, respiration, and nodulated. Storage, we have 4 options. What are they? conical look, like in seen in carrot. Okay, you have seen that carrot is conical, cone-like structure. Then we have fusiform, means your radish. If you have seen the radish, so we used to make the radish sambar. Same thing. The radish has what comes from fusiform. It is a tap root. You know that it's look like a tap root, but it has enhanced its functions for the storage, because the thing which you are eating in radish is what? Carbs, right? So they are storing the food for the bad time, but we are using it. Then we have napiform, like your turnip, and we have tuberoses, turnip or your beetroot. Okay, then we have tuberoses, means swollen structures which don't have any defined symmetry or anything, like 4 o'clock plant like mirabilis. Okay, then we have respiration. This is very important. Sometimes the roots comes out from the soil. Which soil? This happens in case of mangroves. If you ever been to mangroves, like in Tamil Nadu, if you guys are from Tamil Nadu, you can go to Pichavaram. It is the second largest mangrove forest in our country. The first largest is where? Sundarban deltas, right? So these mangroves forests, what happened? Their roots are completely submerged in the water. Now, if you remember a little bit from your lower classes, you know that every part of the tree or a plant, it has its own mechanism of getting the respirations or the oxygen. Means the leaves have stomata, the bark, and the bark means the stem, and the your roots have what? Lenticels. Okay, so those are what? Pores. Now think about that, these mangroves are in water which has high salt condition. Water dissolve is also less. So what happened? They don't have enough oxygen. So what they do? They grow. So the parts of the roots. So for example, this is the root. So certain part of the roots grow outside the water, and it has what? Little pores. Okay, we call it pneumatophores. Through that pneumatophores, it takes the oxygen. I hope this thing is understood. So example is what? Example is rhizophora, which is the mangroves. Okay. Then we have the nodulated. Nodulated means have a node kind of thing. Sometimes we say, na, like our body has a node present. The breast cancer, the node is being felt over there, right? Same thing in the plant, roots has certain nodes present. Here what happened? There is a nitrogen fixation bacteria, rhizobium, which is present in them. So it happens in the legumes plant, okay, which is what? Our cereal crops plant. So this is one example given. Okay, this helps in the nitrogen fixation in the plant, and you know that nitrogen is super important. Okay, then we have the fibrous root. No modifications there. Modification is present in the adventitious root. In adventitious root, we have storage, support, and a special type of root. Another storage, support, and special type of root. Storage has what? Single tuber, like your sweet potato. So sweet potato is what? It is a root modification. Always remember, it's not a stem modification, because potato is a stem modification. We will learn it. Very important, and it can come in your paper. Okay, next is fasciculated, means bunch of them are present. Example in case of Dahlia asparagus. Then moniliform, what happened? Beads are present after regular interval, like Momerdia. Then nodules, you know that it's a node kind of a thing present. Then annulated means ring kind of thing present, IPAC. Then support roots means the weight is more, they want to support it. You know that prop roots are the ficus. Ficus is what? Banyan tree. So what is coming from the banyan trees? These are called as prop roots, specially. These are roots, but what are their roots? These are prop roots. Then we have slit roots, which are coming from the lower part of the stem. That is what? Monocots. You can see that like maize and sugarcane. Okay. Then climbing roots means which help in the climbing, like piper. Then when buttress root, like in people. Okay. Next we have special roots which do the photosynthesis, which have the leaves which have the roots. Epiphyllus. Epiphyllus is bryophyllum. You might have studied bryophyllum. Okay, that is there. So leaf has the root-like structures, contractile roots, floating roots, oxidative roots, and parasitic roots. So these are different types of special roots also present, which you can remember with the examples. Moving on to the next one. With this, our roots are completed. Let's go to the next part of the plant, that is stem. Now stem is what? It arises from the plumule of the embryo. Okay, this thing, let's just put it back. So this arises from the plumule of the embryo. I told you that embryo has two parts, radicle and the plumule. R for radicle, R for roots has been formed. Plumule will form what? It forms the leaves as well as the stem part of it. Okay, so it is positive phototropic, means it grows towards the sunlight. We know that shoot will go towards the sunlight. It is negative geotropism. Geotropism means gravity. Away from the gravity it moves. Gravity is down, it is moving this way. Okay, so these things you might have done. This tropic movements you have already done in 10th class. We are not repeating it. That's why with respect to roots also I never talked about it. Next is have nodes and internodes. What are nodes and internodes? Nodes and internodes are at a regular interval. There is what? Branching coming out from it, or the chances of branching coming out of it. That area of the stem is called as node. In between the two nodes, there is a space present called as internode. So if I have to make it up, what I will make it up? So this is the stem. So from here, the stem is coming out, right? It will grow further. You might have seen, and further the stem coming out, and it grows further. So this part is what? This part and this part. This is node only. Okay, node only. And in between this part, this area is called as internode. In between the node area is called as internode. Simple. Moving on to the next thing. Chloroplast is not present. Initially it might be present, but later on it's not present. And initially that is present in case of certain plants only. We will be learning that in the next chapter. Okay. Moving on. There is what? There is a buds present. Buds means what? These are a mature, reduced embryonical structure present on the stem, which help in forming the stems and leaves. Now these buds could be vegetative, floral or modified. Vegetative buds will give rise to stem or branches or the leaves. So apical, axillary and adventitious. Apical means what? Means at the top plant. Means if this is the plant and at the top this bud is present, we call it apical. Okay, means the apex part. Means if the stem is there, this stem apex part will be the apical bud present, which can make any leaf or further growths to it. Apical, everyone understood. Then comes the axillary. Axillary word is coming from the axis. What is the axis of it? Going to the center of it. Means any bud present on the main, like this is the stem. But if the bud is present on this, called as what? Axillary bud. And adventitious bud is what? From any other part of the plants. If it is present, stem or it is present, so call it adventitious bud. Floral bud will do what? It will give rise to the flower. Whereas modified buds means these buds will change and form the other structures like thorns, tendrils and bulbils. What are they? We will learn it. Okay. Now, if someone will ask like how, like this is the main stem. From this main stem, how the branches are coming? Means these are what? Lateral branching kind of structure present. So they arises from the cortex. Means the endodermis part of it. Whereas the roots, I told you the lateral roots, secondary root, tertiary roots coming. Where they are coming from? They are coming from the pericycle. Just remember it as a fact. When we will be doing the next chapter, you will learn it better. Okay. Now the stems has trichomes. Trichomes are what? Stem hairs present. Same like root hairs. Stem hairs are called as trichomes present, and they prevent the loss of water. Means they don't let the water to leave the body of the plant. Whereas in case of roots, it absorbs the water, root hairs. So opposite things are there. One is helping to prevent, one is helping to absorb. Okay. Then the branching of the stem. It could be unbranched like cortex, date palm, or it could be laterally branched. Now, if the branching is present in them, then how could be the branching? For example, if this is the one plant, it grows into two. These two again grows into two. If something is growing like this way, one branch grows into two, this branch grows into two, further two. This is called as dictymones. Okay, whereas we have racemose. Racemose means that continuous growth is being done. And another is the cymose. Here what happened? That as it grows, this is restriction, lateral growths will occur from this side. Okay. Then comes the types of stems. We have reduced stem, erect stem or the weak stem. Reduced means stem is very less present, like your radish, carrot. Have you seen the stem of that? You feel that taproot is there and then just comes what? Your leaves, right? So these onion and all those are what? Reduced stem. Very small stem is present in their them. Erect means straight. Either it could be herbs or a woody ones. So they are what? We have these erect stems present. We know that, we have seen it, we have experienced it. Then comes the weak stems. Weak stems means they will be dependent. They won't be able to put it straight. Okay. So for example, your grasses means when you see the lawn, the grasses are moving horizontally on this land. So if you see that most of the grass, if you will turn it up, it comes like this long thing. but it's present like this because they are weaker, they can't hold it straight. So creepers are there, tailors are there, climbers, tuners, they are dependent on others, okay, to take the support of other plant or structure, okay. Then comes the modification of stem, which is very important. So we have three different modifications. We have underground stem, subaerial stem, and modified stem. Underground stem, four types. We have rhizome, corm, tuber, and bulb. Rhizome is what? It is horizontal or vertical growth. Means your ginger, turmeric, they are the example of it. So what happened? They grow like this also, they grow like this way also. Both the growth are seen in that. Horizontal growth of this stem as well as vertical growth of this stem takes place. It has nodes and internodes. So this is the rhizome thing. Next comes the corm. Corm is what? The vertical growth will only be seen. Means they will grow like this, like colocasia. We eat colocasia. You can easily find it in the Moore market or any supermarkets present over there. Even the local grocery store you can get it. Then tuber. Tuber is your potato. So no, you know that its shape is what? A bulbed kind of shape. Okay. Then bulbils. Bulbils are what? Bulbils are your. Okay, what happened? Okay. So bulbils, we have onion and garlics. Okay, they are what? Bulbil kind, where the fleshy leaves are there, which we eat. Okay. Then we have subaerials, means little bit up, little bit down. So we have runners like oxalics, suckers, banana, stolons, mint, and guava, offsets, acornia. Okay, these are the then examples. Just remember it with their name. Modified like phylocat. Phylocat like Upantia. Upantia, they have what? Their stem becomes little flatten up, so that it has chloroplast also present. So I gave you certain stems have chloroplast present, so they are, so that they can do the what? Photosynthetic activity. Okay. Then we have cladode, that is asparagus, which help in that storing the substances, and thorns like bougainvillea, which help in the protection. Okay. So these examples you have to remember with respect to modification of the stem. With this, the stem modification is over. The next and the last structure for today is the leaf. If you see leaf has this structure. So there would be one upper side and the lower side. So the upper side, which is called as dorsal side, right? It is called in case of leaf as adaxial. Whereas the lower side, which is the ventral side, is called as abaxial. How I will remember it? Look, in adaxial, D is coming. D for adaxial, D for dorsal. Opposite would be what? For ventral. Okay. Next thing is that there is what? The leaf has been divided into what? This whole structure of the leaf is called as lamina. Okay. This is what? This is the apex of the leaf. This is what? Leaf base. This is what? With this leaf base attached this small stalk like thing called as petiole. This petiole is joined with this major stem part, and they have what? There is a presence of the axillary bud, which is protected by the stipule. Stipule is what? Covering of the axillary bud. From axillary bud, new leaf or anything can form. Now on this leaf, this central structure going, these are called as what? Veins. Here what? Your xylem and phloem are moving. Okay, which means what? Your food and water passage canals. So this is what? This is the midrib. Along with these veins are coming. So these are called as veneations, which are present on it. Now these petiole, which is what? It is what? A structure which is what? Which is keeping the leaf straight. Okay, it's so strong that even in the strong winds, it's let the leaf not get broken up. Okay, so means very strong structure. Now in different plants, it might be modified. So they could be winged, means this could be wing kind of structure with the leaf, like in the citrus plant. Tendrils could be there, so it could be changed into tendrils kind of thing in case of pitcher plant. It could be fleshy in case of water hyacinth. It could be phylloid in Australian acacia to do the extra photosynthetic activity. Leaf formation like Venus flytrap, so that it can attract. Then this stipule can be further of made like free lateral and all those things in the different plants. Okay, means these stipules can be modified into tendrils, leaf, or thorns depending on their need in the plant. Okay, this is about the leaf. Then comes the leaf types. There are two types of leaf: simple leaf, compound leaf. Simple leaf means straightforward, this kind of a leaf. Compound leaf means if I cut till this, like these leaves are being cut till the end. So you might have seen certain leaves like this, certain leaves like this. These are what? These are compound leaves. Basically what happened, it is a single leaf only, but it got an incision. Incision means the cuts till the midrib. So what was the midrib? This is the midrib. If I cut it till here, what will happen? This will become one part, one part, one part, one part. Same thing happens. So if you see that I have made what? I made a cut over here. And this each will become one part. So this is representing this part is representing this small leaflet. Okay, same thing over here. So this is pinnated leaf. So like from the center. In palmately, what happened? If you see the palm, what happened in the palm? From the center part, these 5 digits are coming up, right? Here also something like happened. From the center point, all these incisions goes to the center and each become a single leaf. So if you see something like this will occur. Now these can be unipinnately, means single cut is there, or it could be multiple bipinnately, threepinnately. Means for example, if one cut like this is present, this is one cut. But if within this cut further these cuts are there, these are what? Bicuts or thrice cut. So these cuts are given. So your pinnately leaf is seen in case of neem and rose. And when you are seeing this neem and rose, this center part is now no more called as midrib. It is called as rachis. In neem, we specially call it rachis. Okay, whereas palmately leaf means what? It could be single, double, 2 leaves present, 3 leaves present, 4 leaves, or multifoliated leaves could be present. I hope this thing is super easy. If you didn't get it, let me know in the comment section. I will help you with the real examples. Okay, in the shorts. Then comes the leaf veneations. What are leaf veneations? You know that on the leaf there is what? Lines present on it. I told you what these are. What these are the passage pipes, passage of the xylem and phloem, but they make certain kind of arrangements or patterns that is called as leaf veneations. There could be reticulate, there could be parallels. Reticulate means network like, parallel means parallel to each other veinlets will be present. Okay, so in this reticulate is seen in case of what? In case of dicots, whereas parallel is seen in case of monocots. It doesn't mean that all of the dicot will be reticulated, but most of it. Okay, this thing you have to remember. Like for example, we have smilex. Smilex is what it's in Hindi we call it kari patta, which is used for the as a spice for giving certain flavor. It's like a leaf, dry leaf kind of thing. It is a dicot, but it has a parallel veneations. Okay. Sorry, it's a monocot, has the reticulate veneations. Now these are further divided into palmate and reticulate. Palmate and pinnately. If you remember what it is, palmate means what? That everything, these things will arise from the one common point, whereas pinnately not. So if you remember this, so palmately kind of thing will be these veins are coming from this center, like from the leaf base. Here it is coming from any point. I have made it with the red color. So seen like reticulate is seen in case of people, China rose. Okay. Now further, these palmately could be convergent or divergent. Convergent means it's starting from one and going to one center part. Other could be starting from the one and okay, this I made it wrong. Okay, in this the diagram is wrong. This would be like this. Divergent. Okay, so this would be a divergent one. Now if it is a parallel means what? This going like something like this. If you see, these veins are what? Parallel to each other, right? We are not talking about the midrib, we are talking about the veins, these veins. Okay, not the mid vein. Okay, so in pinnately we normally see in case of banana, you might have eaten and you can appreciate it. So you will see and let me know that whether it's sure or not. Okay, moving on the palmately, we have convergent or divergent. So convergent like this, divergent means like this. Okay, and the last topic is phyllotaxy. What is phyllotaxy? Phyllotaxy means arrangement of leaf on the stem. Okay, so it is what? Arrangement of leaf on stem/branch. So there are 3. Either it could be alternate, opposite, or volt. Alternate means one stem is there, one is coming from here, other coming here, other here, other here. So this is what alternatives, like China rose, mustard. You have to remember these examples given in NCERT. Opposite means this is the stem, one coming here, other opposite of it. Okay, like guava, calotropis. World means from single point, multiple leaves coming up. Single point or single node, multiple leaves, like Elstonia. With this, we have completed everything. This is way too easier topic if you are able to relate with the real life. So when you go out, you try to find these things in the real plant and tell that, okay, this was pinnately, this was unipinnated, bipinnated, tripinnated. See these notes and try to compare it. And give your queries in the comment sections below. So if you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe me, and these notes would be available on my WhatsApp channel or on my Telegram channel. The links would be in the descriptions. Add it. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you.